cartridges.
Hello everyone, it's Fat Man from the Holler. As always, if you like my videos, hit like and subscribe. Today, I'm going to show you guys the 5th edition of Shotshell Reloading Handbook. And it says the complete, like if you look at the bottom, it says the most complete non-toxic data. And it says steel, bismuth, and heavy shot, all leading powders and components, over 230 pages of proven loads, full color, case ID section, actual size, and cutaways. If we go to the back, you can see different powders and different wads, etc. So I believe it's going to be quite beneficial, because I believe this book also talks about the actual brass casings, which brass casings are pretty good. They're a little bit tricky for parts of it, because I believe, if I remember correctly, when you're using brass, they don't do a crimp. They're more of a card based reloading method, almost like a crimp. Not a crimp, but a roll type, where you smash it down and this has a card under it instead of actually having a crimp. So we'll open the book and see what we can come up with. And I really hope this book's going to be worth about the 20 or 30-ish bucks that I paid for it. So as we open the book, you can see it says Shotshell Reloading Handbook. And then it has National Associations of Interest, Amateur Trap Shooting Association, Ducks Unlimited, National Rifle Association, let's see here, the National Shooting Sports Foundation, Natural Skeet Shooting Association, Natural Sporting Clays and all that stuff, Natural Wild Turkey and all that stuff. And a lot of those places are in Texas, Connecticut, Virginia, and Memphis, Tennessee for Ducks Unlimited, and Vandalia, Ohio, and as you can see at the bottom, South Carolina. So we'll continue. And it shows Tom Griffin, Eric Fisk, and then Dan Guild, and then John Sheehan. So that's some of the guys that helped create this. And if you look at the categories, we'll get to that. It says why reload shot shells, getting started, and then it's just the basics and stuff. And then you get over here, it talks about the bushing tabs, and then pretty much different presses like Lee, Mac. And I prefer Mac over a lot, because Mac's actually like Old Faithful, if you want to know the truth. And you can see it shows different stuff about shotshell reloading, and we're going to get a little deeper into this. And it shows like different stuff for storage and tools and all the stuff of that nature, and measuring. And I'll do my reloading of shot shells by hand. And I mean, I have digital scales and a triple beam. You've seen in other videos, I have a little bit of stuff for doing this. And shot shells is a little bit more forgiving than doing metallics, which is large handgun, small handgun, and rifle cases. But if you go through, it has good load data. And we'll get back to this page right here. As you can see, it shows Lyman makes molds for both a traditional Foster type slug and sabot slug of their own design. And that's quite understandable, because you have two different kinds of slugs. You have a sabot slug and then a rifle slug. A basic slug is just a projectile being fired down the barrel. And if you have a rifled slug, the barrel is rifled, so when you shoot a rifled slug, it spins through the barrel just like a rifle or a pistol. So it has a little bit better velocity and a little bit better accuracy to a certain point, versus a sabot where you're just shooting a piece of lead out of the gun. So I figured I'd clarify some of that. And then it says right here, as you can see, it says reloading shot shell slugs, and it shows the tools and stuff, and it shows, actually, here's the part that you guys will, if you guys are new to reloading, this is a great part. Let me get back to it. If you actually look right here, it's going to be a little hard to see since I'm using my phone. Let me kick that back so you can see. See, here's the great part about this. If you're using like a Mac, it shows you your stations, and each station has a representation of what it's going to do when you're reloading. You know, like one station, you want to add your primer. Okay, and you go to the next station, you use your charge bar to add your powder and then you add your wad, and then you can add your shot, and then you pre-crimp, and then you finish crimp, and you're done. So I like to speak on that because I actually am a shotgun fanatic more than handguns. I do like handguns and rifles and ARs, but I'm more like in the wheel guns, traditional cowboy guns, versus when I was younger, where I liked H&K, MP5, AK-47, the SKS carbines, AR-15s, the M16 stuff, and a lot of that duplicate stuff. It's over glorified, but the crazy thing is the ammo is actually cheaper for some of the stuff that the government calls mass shooting weapons. Ain't that stupid? A box of 22 shells, $550, $30. $50 for, I think it's like not even $50. I think it's like 50 rounds of AR-15 ammo is like $20, which it doesn't make sense because I'm a small game hunter and I really don't appreciate 22 ammo being $30 a box of Federal or Remington. I find that kind of disgusting, considering a 22. You haven't seen anybody go to mass shooting and do anything of that nature. But I have a 22, has a 25 round magazine. I don't really use that for hunting, but I use it for target shooting. But anyway, that's just my personal view of how some of the stuff the government does is pretty disgusting. But that's taken away from the video. So let's get in here to the load data. We have load data for 410, 20 gauge, 28 gauge. So let's continue. There's 410, there's 28 gauge. Let's continue. There's 20 gauge. Okay, let's get past the 20 gauge. Then you got the old 16 gauge, which ain't real popular today, but some folks still shoot 16 gauge. And my favorite of the shotgun era is mainly the 12 gauge and 410. And you can keep going. And then you get into my gun that I love for turkey hunting is the good old 10 gauge. Can't steer you wrong. Good old 10 gauge. And see, it shows load. It says load data, cautions, please read. It has all that. And then I don't know if this is actually, it has all the information about these different calibers, but it doesn't have the 32 gauge. And the 32 gauge is more, I say, kind of a yuppie gun, but I don't like to be nasty about it because I'm trying to talk to everybody about reloading. But a 32 and a 28 is made for quail and pheasant. It was before the 410 was created, because we need the equilibrium between 12 gauge is too big. The 12 gauge is too big. The 20 gauge is still too big. So that you had all these different calibers, and then the 410 emerged. But we'll continue. And as you get into the back, you can get your charging information, bushing, all this stuff. I mean, it has everything. And it shows introducing the loaded heavy shot for shooting geese and stuff of that nature. And I mean, I can show you all of it, but I don't want to bore you guys with meaningless stuff that you'll actually have to read about yourself for your load data and stuff like that in your shots. But it also shows precision reloading of different holes, and it shows stuff you can buy if you're a clay shooter. I'm really not, because I can lead with a shotgun. I'm almost surgically accurate with one. I mean, I can shoot a 410 from my porch and hit squirrels. They're probably from my porch about 100 foot, maybe 150 foot off the tree line, and I've hit them and knocked them down for cooking. I don't shoot stuff just to shoot stuff either, and I save the hides, etc. But that's a whole other story. But as you continue through here, what's this guy got going on here in the picture? Here's a bag of green wing teal taken in the days of the point system for ducks. Green wings were only 10 pointers because it is a 100-point system. In those days, that meant a limit of 10 of these teal. It does not take a big load to bring down such a little duck. Okay. I'm not really a duck hunter, because I actually love ducks, because I like them having swim in my pond. I like the nostalgia of them, and they're quite helpless from raccoons and stuff, but it's okay. I wouldn't eat ducks either because they're extremely greasy, but each their own. I mean, I might eat a pheasant or a quail or something of that nature, because quail meat is actually good. It's quite expensive too. But here in Missouri, we've had so many cats that the cats have actually really destroyed the natural quail population. And I'm sorry to cat lovers, but it's a fact, because puma, even from your large hunters to your house cat, it's their nature. And I understand that. So anyways, we'll continue. And it shows your load data and your gauges and everything. It doesn't have a lot of pictures, and for people like me, I like to see a little bit of optics so I know what's going on. Let's go back to the other page. Well, I guess I had to go back quite a bit. It shows a lot. I like to see a little bit of it. That's why I like to do videos pertaining to reloading, like what's going on here. In addition to pinpoint sighting, the Luma ring sight serves as a distance indicator. For example, if a turkey fits inside the ring of the light is more than 35 yards. Okay, yeah. And then it talks about the green dot powders and red dot powders and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't use lasers or flashlights or none of that stupid stuff you see in the movies on a shotgun. Because, you know, a flashlight, if you're like a police officer, you're in a warehouse, that might be helpful. But I'm more of a hunter. And even if I was a police officer, I wouldn't use a flashlight because I like to be the predator instead of the person that's a routine that's probably going to get shot when that flashlight goes around the corner and they see it. Not saying it happens like that, but it does happen sometimes. The art of concealment is a very crucial thing for hunting. That doesn't apply to reloading as much, but anybody who understands where I'm coming from can probably understand that. So, in general, it shows you your stations and everything. And overall, I believe the book's going to be good because it shows about, you can see how it shows the diagrams of the powder, the combustion of the primer, and all that. So, I mean, it's not shotgun reloading. It doesn't take rocket science. And I mean, it really doesn't. It's just you need to know your holes, which is your shot shell hole, the proper primers and powder, and certain wads for if it's shot or buckshot. And the thing is, the reason I bought universal powders from what I'm doing is I can reload double-aught buckshot, and then like lead shot, and I can also do slugs. So I'll do it universally because I don't have a giant budget to do it any other way. So I prevail by finding stuff that's going to be multi-useful things. So then it makes it a little cheaper. And then over time, as you have money, like everything else, anybody that may have a budget or a tight budget will understand. You acquire things over time and you acquire your knowledge over time. And when you're doing reloading, the main thing is you may be off a little bit, but you really want to keep your safety number one in mind of your own safety, whoever may be around you. And you really don't want to have a gun malfunction that will damage your gun or yourself. So that's pretty crucial, but a lot of reloading isn't as complicated as it seems on the bigger channels I've seen. There's a lot of options for people who like reloading stuff, but I'm going to show you guys basic ways of doing off the grid. Because I don't have tons of money or production crews to run the cameras and all that jazz, so I use my phone. I'm sorry. But I have other time. I'm going to work on getting my little area where I do videos cleaned back off because I've had some orders from Amazon, water being frozen. So I'm still doing a little backtracking and cleaning and picking up trash and getting everything organized. But we're going to get right back into this reloading thing. And I apologize to all the guys who follow me on reloading for just seeing video gaming or me out just explaining myself in a little bit of a documentary. I really don't like to suppress anybody that follows me, because if you're following me for a certain category, I don't want to just bore you to death. But I do multi things, and my channel's a multi-content channel, so hopefully most of you guys, I believe, can accept that. And I try to be fair as possible, and I try to give you guys the best products, because, you know, if I link it to Amazon affiliate and I buy a product and I find it to be invalid, useful for me, I am not going to link it to my Amazon affiliate to me, because I will not change my integrity for $1. I want to provide you guys the best tools and the best knowledge that I have. And right now, as I said, I don't have enough money to really be doing a lot of reloading, because everything just didn't quite work out to where I got to go to the place that sells reloading stuff. I went to a different place, and they're all sold out of primers for everything, and it's unbelievably crazy. So I'm having to do other things, but I'll keep acquiring books so I can read, and and if I can't make things work that way, I'll find a different way. I'll start making all my bullets and stuff with my molds, and then say one day I can actually get the primers or the powder, I'll do it. And if it has to be really stupid, I'll go buy me a break action shotgun, and I'll use Paradox black powder in my shotgun, because as you seen in the video I provided the link for a while back, that guy used BBs, old t-shirt, and all kinds of stuff to make his wad, and used a piece of cardboard to make his card instead of crimping it. And that's like a DIY off the grid type basis thing. But I mean, I've seen him do it. It seems successful. He didn't get harmed. His gun didn't get harmed. So there's always more than one way to do something. But as always, if you like my videos, thank you. If you've watched the video this far, much love, and I'm out.